Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. So Ethereum is coming higher. Yeah, we talked about that before, that we have here possibly a 5-wave move to the upside. In my opinion, this could now be a I probably have to change this sub count as well a little bit. Yeah, this cannot be a 5-wave move anymore because the wave 4 cut into the wave 1. Can't even count this as a diagonal because it would be in a wave 3. That doesn't really work. There's different ways of counting this. You know, I can count all of this as a diagonal pattern. Could say this was a 1, 2, yeah, wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then this was the wave 1, and this was the wave 2. On a lower time frame, if I go to the 30-minute chart, we can count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the wave 5 here, yeah, basically as a wave 1, and then you have here your wave 2, and we're now pushing higher in wave 3. I talked before in previous videos about that I would want that wave 3 to go all the way to 1330, which it basically did now. So that scenario has so far been completed. It's still a bit of a weird move to the upside here. Unfortunately, we had that overlap of this high and that low. It's not a problem. It doesn't really change the view. It's just, again, not an ideal pattern at the moment, unfortunately, anymore, because this overlap I would have liked to avoid it, basically. But again, not a big deal. So I think we count this here as the 5-wave move. It's entirely possible. Then this as a wave 2, and we're now pushing up in a wave 3. This would move higher, though. It would move the target for the 3rd wave higher, though. We reached that 1330 target that we talked about in the previous video, but now I would move that up a little bit based on the latest wave 1. So it could really take us to $1,400 now, that wave 3. I will need to observe now, because literally that sort of pump just happened. So I would like to observe that for a little bit to maybe make some changes to the wave count. But the point is here that this is still a valid long trade setup. This view hasn't changed. I couldn't quite understand. I had a few questions in a previous video that yesterday I was a bit more optimistic that this would work out, and today, this morning, I think when I made the video, I wasn't that optimistic anymore. I talked about a new low, and I don't know, you know, obviously this is a valid long trade setup. Yeah, we've talked about that. So at the moment, I'm assuming this is holding, okay, until it gets invalidated. Of course, I can't promise you it's going to hold, but it is a valid long trade setup with a decent probability. But the point I tried to make, and that I've been making for weeks now, is that as long as we don't get above $1,400, we can also apply a triangle count to this entire sideways mess that we have here. And in a triangle count, we still have to assume that we could come down and make one more low. So until we break above $1,400, there is still that risk of making one more low below $11.95. But we don't need to focus on that, as long as this long trade setup is valid, and it is valid, you know, as long as we basically stay above the 1255 level when it started. But okay, that is quite far away. So we need to hold the next or the previous swing low, which has now moved up to $12.99. So the view now is, as long as we hold the $1,300 level, against that level we can move higher. And you know, anybody who entered in this reversal area, in this long trade area, personally, what I would do, I would move up my stop loss. You know what I did. I did buy at 1250 and 1205. Those were my entries, and yeah, this is now a long trade setup, which could really take us to $1,500, $1,600 eventually. And I will definitely keep you updated about that. The next resistance level will be this previous wave B high here and the wave 1 high. That is at 1341, 1342. That will be the next target for the bulls to break. And then we've got the 1380 level here, and then the $1,400 level. So this is what the bulls need to work through. It's a long way to go, but it would be great to ideally finally break out of the range, maybe next week, yeah, to the upside. But again, as long as we stay below 1400, we can still count all of this as an ABCDE triangle, which we still have hidden somewhere here. So I could move it in, but we did that in the previous video. And as long as that's the case, there is this real risk of still pushing down lower, and that this is just one of the waves within this triangle to the upside. but we don't really need to, again, we don't really need to focus on it as long as this long trade setup is valid. Okay, that's my update about Ethereum. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.